Normally when I open with a sponsorship, I start, pretty nice. Hey, check out the thing. Hey, look at this, look at that, try out the stuff. But you see, when I partnered with Gamer Subs, they sent me a bunch of stuff, samples, things to try out, making sure I like the stuff, Go ahead, give it a shot, Bricky, they said. And they sent me a shaker cup as well. Here's what that shaker cup looked like. So it turns out that Gamer Subs thinks they're funny, and apparently, if I can push enough units, I can get my own anime Bricky shaker cup. And my body's telling me, no, Bricky, don't ignore those red flags, get out. But my other part of my body is like, yeah, you like money. So here we are. Gamer Subs is an energy drink mix that's 1, way better than the other crap out there, 2, better priced and better portioned, and 3, thinks they're funny. And if you want to try out Gamer Subs, you know what? Have some free samples, have free shipping. The first 500 people gets all that stuff if you use promo code Bricky and the link in the description. And once that's over, well, use it anyway, because then you'll get 10% off your order. Thanks for the sponsor, Gamer Subs. Let's negotiate about this cup next time. Hello everyone, my name is Bricky, currently serving 2 years in prison for boosting in the corner of Modern Warfare 2. I would never do that. Sandy Ravage taught me against it. And let me transport you on a journey. Let's bring us back to Halo Reach for a second, okay? You just finished your game and you are now being awarded your credits. Maybe you completed a challenge, maybe you got that good slot machine, you did pretty well that game, but regardless, your Spartan does his little shindig and then boom, you now have some credits to spend. The wealth of options at your fingertips. Heads, variations of heads, chest, shoulders, even knee pads, special effects, visor colors, all of these things are there for the choosing. You choose what you want and you hear a knock on the door. It's NASA. They're here for an experiment. All you have to do is play Halo Reach and they'll give you $500 if you survive. What a deal! They stand all around you, clipboards in hand, and they tell you, load up another game. So you load into a new game, right? Team Slayer, and out of curiosity, you decide to look at the different kind of players in the game, but then you see it. Skull helmet. Inheritor rank on the enemy team. The scientists at NASA have a crooked grin across all their faces as immediately your butthole puckers and puckers and puckers and you are inverted into a miniature black hole. Their sensory equipment going off with bells and whistles. They gather their data. You cease to be, and then they leave to the next Halo Reach player. NASA hasn't had the ability to run tests like this in a long time because Halo Reach was the golden age for video game progression. And that golden age of gaming progression has been swept underneath the rug for other different ideas, mainly monetary. When it comes to gaming, I have always enjoyed having something to work for. It's actually one of the driving forces behind video games for me. I can absolutely appreciate a game having just a really good fundamental gameplay and of course fun with your friends, but having that little extra thing to work for, having that thing to unlock or at least try to reach for with your game time is actually really important to the games that I like to play. But where I differ from maybe some of you is that I don't like the grind that's required. I don't find myself playing a whole lot of Warframe and Destiny right now because the grind in those games is a required part of the progression of the game. What I find myself doing is the Battle Pass in Apex, Dark Matter camo in Call of Duty, third prestiges in Dead by Daylight. A meaningful progression system that rewards both the casual and die-hard community of a game is something that I feel is just incredibly important in any kind of video game title and has been just thrown by the wayside in the past couple of years in favor for monetary practices or just much more shallow, boring based progression. So today, let's talk about what those crisp systems are, where you can find them in old games, and some examples of some maybe newer games that do this pretty well, or maybe, where they went wrong.
What is this power?
Cock and ball torture is truly the epitome of our time. However, we're talking about a different CBT here, actually more of a CBTP. CBT progression is the acronym I use to determine what is considered a perfect gold standard progression system in a video game. These, in order, start with C, casual accessibility, the ability to really get through the progression system of a game rather easily and understandably, not having too much time wasted on figuring out all different kinds of complicated methods. It's very easy to play and it's very easy to get through. B is for big dick factor. This one is very self-explanatory. It's different kinds of cosmetics, icons, emblems, titles, any of that kind of stuff that shows that you are a hardcore player of this game or you're really good at it. And T is for time investment. This is to specifically call out those 4,000 hour players. This is to give those players something to do for a very, very long time. Casual accessibility is a big one. I'm gonna go back to the days of Modern Warfare 2 to describe this one. How do you level up in MW2? You earn XP. How do you earn XP? You play the game. Super freaking simple. I want attachments for my gun. Get kills. I want skins for my gun. Get headshots. I want to unlock title. Here's the challenges you can do to get some titles and emblems. Boom, done. Extremely easy to get into. Great for both a veteran and a new player to understand easily how to unlock and get through the game. The important part of casual accessibility is that skill isn't necessarily needed in order for it to work. If you want to be 10th prestige in MW2, it's not a hard thing to do in terms of skill. Casual accessibility is not about getting stuff for like a ranked border or earning any kind of rewards from a ranked system, from some kind of skill-based system. No. It's something that both a noob and a veteran can both get just by playing. The big dick factor is exactly what it sounds like. It is something to show off that you're very good at the game or you've put in the hours to unlock it. However, the best game that I can think of for the big dick factor isn't even a multiplayer game. It's Hades. If you take a look at Hades, that first playthrough, when you first start that game compared to a fully fledged playthrough, a long-term playthrough, the environment, not just things like the mirror and all of your upgrades and your weapons, but just the wealth of cosmetics that you have for the entire underworld palace is insane, and it looks gorgeous. Hades as a roguelite always gives you that feeling that once you die or say complete the mission and you go ahead and resurrect back at the palace once again, you look in front of you and you see all the fruits of your labor. You look out and you're like, oh my God, look at all the fantastic, impressive, awesome upgrades I got because I was able to play and grind the game out as much as I did. And even though it might be a single player game, in this day and age with everyone using Discord and the super easy ability to stream from it, you could still share it with your friends and still kind of get yourself that like, whoo, I used the kitty urinal because I need the space. Finally, we have the time sink. And this one is, as it sounds, it's something to keep on working for hours upon hours upon hours. And I don't just mean the average amount of game time. I mean like the die-hard players. I'm talking about those absolutely aggravating people who spend 5,000 hours in a game, leave a bad review and says there's nothing to do. My example for this one, as I've already mentioned a million times, it's a great fucking game, is Halo Reach, specifically the commendation system. Halo Reach has a long system of commendations, and each and every single one of them have something to work with it, like close range damage, jack of all trades, headshots, firefight campaign, so many different things to unlock all the way up to Onyx rank that do give you some rewards as you go. I think it's just regular credit or XP rewards, I don't quite remember. But regardless, it is a long time sink to get all of these things worked on. And it leaves so much for you to try to unlock and work towards. Even if it isn't like that big of a deal, it's still something that's really nice to have and something that you can just kind of work towards if you feel like doing so. Not only that, but as mentioned prior, the inheritor rank takes an exorbitant amount of time to get. Max rank in Reach is not like max rank in other games. It takes you goddamn forever. This is what a good CBT system looks like. This is fresh, high octane, high power CBT, and it is fantastic when they're all put together properly. However, that seems to have gone the way of the dodo. Why? Well, you know why. So at what point did high quality CBT stop being really popular? Well, I think it would generally be around the time the live service model became a very important thing. Because as a lot of us know, but way back when a game came out, multiplayer game, whatever, it released, and that was it. That was the end of it. There was no updates, there were no patches, there was nothing like that. It was almost like everything was a single player game, you know? Because nowadays, a single player game comes out, everyone plays it, everyone buys it, and then no one talks about it. They release maybe an expansion pack, they play it some more. You might have a die-hard fan base for it, who knows? They make some memes. But generally, you don't get another big boost of money until the next single player game. Multiplayer games, as of lately, have taken by the balancing patch way, which is one of those things that I really take for granted, I think, because a lot of us talk about Modern Warfare 2 being just an absolute fantastic game and everyone loved it. But Modern Warfare 2 had Danger Close, one-man army noob tubes. And that's so horseshit. If that went on today, people would absolutely riot. Hell, even in Call of Duty 4, stopping power is a super bullshit perk. It completely defines the meta of the entire game. But now, if you are constantly adding more things to your game, if you are constantly updating your game, you have to pay people to do that. So if you look at these evil publishers behind me, ask them why the hell wouldn't they constantly try to get a revenue stream to come out of it? Why would they spend the time and effort that they could have put in some good CBT progression, some big dick skins, some major challenges, working towards all that high level stuff, when instead they could throw that all towards some kind of monetization, some kind of loot box or microtransaction skim, and then have the person buy it? I'm not condoning it, but you look at these publishers and you have to ask yourself that, because truly, why wouldn't they? Morals? I understand it, but unlocking something for my efforts would be appreciated. Something that isn't just a loot box or a microtransaction. Something that really shows that I have like no life this game. A title, an emblem, a weapon skin. You know, for all of their faults, for all of their stupidity, for the fact that it is a $60 game up front with $20 skins for characters in a first-person shooter with battle passes, I still do buy every single Call of Duty game. And that's entirely because it has that old school progression. Because I've got a ton of guns I can grind for. Because on the zombie side, they now have all these zombie skins I can grind for. Because they have all of those weird, like, purple shardy things that you can do to upgrade your skills in zombies that I can grind for. Because you can't buy dark matter camo in Call of Duty. Now, it is argued that you might be able to buy something that may look better in the store, sure, but you can't buy dark matter camo in Call of Duty, because dark matter camo is something that must be earned and cannot be bought. But for everything else, I don't get anything for my efforts. If I go play Dead by Daylight, I don't get an awesome challenge that says, hey, hook 5,000 survivors as the nurse. And then you get a nice, cool diamond nurse bone saw. Even just like a reskin, something small. Hell, a damn little icon badge thing on the hook, right? Just something like that. Anything like that. Hey, put 1,000 survivors in bear traps. You get 100,000 blood points and the bear trap little gem on the hook. That's it. That's all that's needed. Something to really push myself towards, and something that I can actually be proud and unlock. What does Overwatch have for the die-hard Roadhog main? A gold weapon? So? You can use gold on anything you feel like. Where's my fancy-pantsy Roadhog skin? Where's Overwatch 2? Not in sight. But it's not all thunderclouds. It's not all thunderclouds. There's a little bit of rainbows here and there. So let me tell you about a couple games that I think do one of the facets of the CBT pretty well. So a lot of older games do fantastic CBT. I think Halo Reach probably does the best CBT between the combination of easy to access, lots of big dick energy, and huge time sinks. It probably is the best progression system I can think of. But let's figure out a couple other ones. Let's look at the C, for instance, casual accessibility. I think Apex does this pretty well. Apex has I gotta be honest, a little bit confusing amount of challenges, weekly challenges, special events, all this kind of crap going on. But at the end of the day, if you want to level up and get your packs or whatever, if you want to level up that battle pass, you want those stars, just playing is enough. Now, it might say play 2 games as Caustic, get a certain amount of damage light machine guns, place top 3. Sure. But none of it is like get a headshot kill with a Kraber at over 5,000 meters on Kings Canyon. It's none of that bullshit. It's just do damage with this gun, do damage with this legend, reach top 10. Things that really your playstyle will only change in picking your weapon and picking your legend. Everything else won't change. And even if you don't feel like doing that, well then don't. You still get points and stars and such for the pass by just getting XP. The B in CBT, the big dick energy, has to go to For Honor. Absolutely has to go to For Honor. I don't really play For Honor much anymore. One too many heavy feint into guard break bouncing off the enemy because of latency or something. That one too many of those has ruined the game for me. But they did big dick energy like crazy good. It was probably one of the main reasons that I kept on playing For Honor as much as I did. I probably would have quit that game a while ago if it wasn't for the fantastic customization. And a lot of it is entirely like held back by how much you play your character. A normal rank 1 starting Lawbringer versus the Chad high rep Lawbringer is a huge difference. A lot of the really good looking armor can't even be unlocked until you get a certain amount of reps onto your character, which is kind of like a Call of Duty Prestige or something. You have to get to Reputation 1 to unlock more armor, then 3, then 5, then 7, and then after that, then you get even more effects like embossing on your armor or armor tinting to make yourself look gold, or new weapons. Like, it's fantastic. The difference between new and old looks amazing, and the amount of customization in that game is incredible. When you load into a duel and you see that huge reputation character, you do a little bit of a pucker. When you see that incredibly sleek, impressive looking Warden, and you're ready for a shoulder of a lifetime. It's pretty cool. Now for the T, no doubt in my life does League take this one. I didn't think I would choose League originally, but I thought about it for a bit. Time Sync, League of Legends, yeah, absolutely. Not only do you get to like level 500 or whatever that top level they've added is, but then you also have the millions and millions and millions of skins and characters in that game, and millions of Hex Tech crates, of those damn event passes and stuff, of the Prestige Edition, this and that, and all of the essence and orange essence, blue essence, and skin shards, and there is so much stuff you can unlock, and you can play that game 5 games every day to the day you die. And you won't unlock everything in that game. There is always something to earn. There is always something to unlock. And while it's not quite what I would like, I kind of like more of that, hey, get 5,000 kills with Tom Kench, get a fancy pantsy mastery icon. But even so, there's enough to do. But it would be unfair of me to not at least list one game that does all these things pretty good in the modern age. I was actually considering putting Apex there as the number 1 for the CBT because it does have a long time sync with its 500 levels that you can do. And I guess in a sense you can consider the amount of damage done, trackers and stuff on a character as your time sync because it also loads in with the big dick energy. But I gotta dick suck a different Respawn game because I would not be Bricky if I wasn't dick sucking Titanfall. Titanfall is still one of the best first person shooters of the last decade, maybe even of all time. I love this game to death, and it does CBT like a king. Casual accessibility. In Titanfall, you level up by earning these things called merits. What are merits? I don't really know. They just kind of give you some stuff. But the point is that you earn them by playing the game. Get more merits if you do a lot of damage. Get more merits if you escape out of the dropship. Get more merits if you win. All that kind of stuff. Just more merits, level up. Great. Awesome. How do I want to level up my guns to unlock more attachments? Just use them. That's it. How do I want to level up my Titans? Just use them. That's it. New faction? Just use them. That's it. Just use what you want to be leveled up and it will be leveled up. What about big dick energy? Oh, this one is perfectly fine. There are a ton of customization options in Titanfall in general, not just with your pilot, because not only can your pilot have a bunch of these awesome skins, male, female, that kind of stuff, but then your guns can also have all of these nice fancy pantsy skins. And then your Titans can also have nice skins. And hell, if you reach that 10th generation's kind of like prestige. So then you got your jet black North Star, right? Sexy pinup girl right on the front from the nose art, because that shows that you are a North Star main. But not just that, but the titles and emblems you run around with, the generations, which is, you know, you get really, really high in the generations, and then the fancy titles you get from that. Ooh, lots of reasons to show how good you are. Hell, if I just see a Gen 100, I say, oh shit, that's a Gen 100. And that is a perfect lead into the time sink, because not only can you make it to Gen 10 and get that stoic dark camo, right, on your Titans, on your characters, on all of your weapons, as well as the various amounts of other stuff you can earn. But then Respawn was like, fuck it. Get to Gen 100, kids, see what we care. Go ahead. You can reach Generation 100. That is prestiging in Call of Duty 100 times. And you have a title and an emblem and that cool nameplate to go all with it. I can't even imagine how many hours you would need to play Titanfall 2 to get to Gen 100. That must be laughably ludicrous to play that much, but I see them, and they are gods. Titanfall has it all. Casual accessibility, easy to understand, easy to level up, big dick energy, oh my god, that's a Gen 100, and they're using tone? And a time sink. So much to unlock, so much to work for. It would take thousands of hours to even get all of it. Now, I could use a little bit more. I think there could be a few more camouflages and a few more things to work on in that way. Maybe like a different Titan chassis if you reach a certain amount, but that would take a little bit more time, effort, and money to do. And as far as I'm concerned, getting what we have now is enough. Titanfall 2, best game ever. Play it now. In conclusion, bring back old style progression. Bring back the days where it was easy to get my way through it, or I can play and grind just as a casual or a veteran player could. Allow me to show off my fancy pantsy shit and make other players fear me as I enter the lobby. Allow me to, even after doing all that, still have something to work for if I choose to come back to this game in 5, in 10 years. You can keep your microtransactions, you can keep your skins, so long as I have something that shows me that I put the hours in. Thank you all very much for watching. It was a pleasure to have you, my listeners, stick all the way to the end. A huge thank you to my patrons and my members up on screen, and let's answer some questions. What's your favorite weapon from Titanfall 2, and why is it the L-Star? How dare you? How dare you? It's either the Flatline, the R97, or the Wingman Elite. Bricky, where are my goddamn feet pics, you big fucking nerd? Give me money and you can have all the feet you want, kid. Father of lies. Come in disguise? That's how I'm gonna end this video. You gotta deal with it. I'll see you all in 10 days.